Hi everyone. For this lesson, we'll take a look at exponential functions. An exponential function is a function written in this form: y equals ab to the x power. For this to be an exponential function, the value for a cannot be 0. Okay? And the value for b can't be 1. And x is any real number. Here are some examples of exponential functions. You can have y is equal to 2 to the x power, or you can have y is equal to 0.5 times 3 to the x power, or you can use function notation and write down f of x is equal to 7 times 3 to the x power. So any of these would be an example of an exponential function. Alright, let's take a look at a quick example of an exponential function. I wrote down y is equal to 2 to the x power, and now we can make a t-table for this exponential function, and we'll pick some easy values for x. So if x is 0, you plug 0 for x here, it'll be 2 to the 0 power, then y would be 1. If x is 1, it'll be 2 to the first, so y is 2. And if x is 2, it'll be 2 to the second, then y is 4. And the last one here, if x is 3, it'll be 2 to the third power, then y is 8. To check to see if the t-table represents an exponential function or not, you look at this characteristic. Look at the x values. If you increase the x value by 1 each time, look at what happened to the y values. You go from 1 to 2, so you have to multiply it by 2 to go from the first number 1 to get to 2. And this is consistent with the next set of values. To go from 2 to 4, you also have to multiply it by 2. And to go from 4 to 8, you do the same thing. You have to multiply it by 2. So if it's consistent and you have to multiply by the same number each time, then this represents an exponential function. Alright, so let's take a look at another exponential function. We have f of x is equal to 3 times 2 to the x power. Right? And we're given the value for x. Let's say x is 4. And we're asked to evaluate this exponential function when x is 4. Right? So what you want to do is just copy the exponential function over, and we'll leave this space empty, and we'll plug in the value for x in a bit. Right? And it's equal to 3 times 2 to the x power, but we'll leave that empty as well. Right? So now we'll plug in the 4 for x, and if you look at the right hand side, we'll replace this x here with 4 as well. Right? So now we can evaluate this exponential function. Right? So here again we have to follow PEMDAS. So 2 to the 4th power is 16, so it'll be 3 times 16, and that equals 48. So f of 4 is equal to 48. Now you might wonder, what does the graph of an exponential function look like? We can actually put this equation into Fluid Math and graph it. Right? So when we do that, this is the result. Right? Notice this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. And notice as you increase x, the y value increases exponentially. Hence the name exponential function. And we're done, and we're happy.